Hi, and welcome to my sewing room. My name's Leah, and I'm on week 2 of my second year of sewing on my UFOs, where I've challenged myself to sew at least 15 minutes a day on my unfinished projects. Thanks to a couple snow days, I got some really good progress done on my Safe Harbor One Block Wonder and my Mini Bowl Challenge quilt. I have hit a stopping point with my One Block Wonder though. Let me show you where I'm at. Wednesday, I started by sewing together some of the rows for the top. And thanks to some unexpected snow, I was able to finish sewing all my rows by the end of Saturday. I did these in an assembly line method. First, I took them all off the design wall at the same time. I kept the piles in order, and I put a binder clip at the top so I would know where to start each row, and I paired them up into groups of 2. I like to sew 2 at a time so I don't have to waste so much thread. It's similar to sewing leaders and enders, but in this case, these are the leaders and the enders, and I keep sewing them over and over. I'll sew one, cut the thread. Bring that one around, sew it, cut the thread, and repeat. I've tried to sew more than 2 rows at a time this way, but I always end up messing it up. Sometimes I pull from the wrong piles, and I always end up unstitching something. I found that I'm successful if I just sew 2 rows at a time. Once they were all sewed together, I admired them a bit in their fluffy piles. Then it was onto the ironing stage and back onto the design wall. Sunday I worked on the 2 pieces that would overlap into the panel. These half hexagons will be hand appliqued on, and to get that nice edge, I folded the fabric over 1/4 of an inch and I glue basted it down. Then I lined them up with their counterpart and I sewed them right sides together, making sure the folded edge lined up with the seams on the row. I did that for both pieces. I like adding a hexagon every now and then to overlap the panel, as that can help get rid of the harsh line visually where the panel meets the hexagons. With these overlapping, it will help the panel blend into all the other hexagons. This extra hexagon piece will be sandwiched in between the panel and this row when I sew them together. When I open it up, it'll be flapping around, but I'll fix that when I hand stitch it down. I'll show a better shot of how that works later on when I get to that part. Here you can get a better visual of what it will look like when I fold it open and applique it down onto the panel. With those 2 pieces added, I had all my rows sewn. I didn't time how long it took me as I was enjoying the relaxing sew days of Saturday and Sunday. When it snows in the south, everything shuts down. We just don't have the infrastructure to handle any kind of snow. So with nowhere to go, I spent most of my time in the sewing room and I didn't worry about any timers. I also got a lot done on my main Mini Bowl Challenge quilt. I sewed back and forth between these 2 projects, and I was able to finish the top of my Mini Bowl Challenge quilt. I'll show more of that off in a later video. Now I just need to figure out what to do with these leftovers, as that's part of my Mini Bowl Challenge, to use up all this fabric. I do have some ideas running through my head. I just need to grab some extra tan fabric and I can start on those. And once those are done, I'll be ready to post the next installment of my Mini Bowl Challenge. On Monday, snow days were over and I was back to my regular schedule. I took the time to pin the center rows of the top and the bottom. And on Tuesday, I sewed them all, pressed them, and I got them back on the design wall. I still need to add the small end caps at the top and bottom of my rows. The only rows I could sew together were the center rows, as I can easily add the end caps to these as the points come together at the top. And the other end gets hand appliqued onto the panel, and they don't need end caps. And even though these pieces in the bottom center had a V shape, this V shape gets hand stitched down onto the panel, so I don't have to worry about putting end caps on those. And the bottoms make a nice point. The long columns on the side have a pointed top, but a V-shaped bottom. Again, I could easily sew the end caps to the pointy end, but it would turn into Y seams at the bottom if I sewed those rows together. And I try to avoid Y seams when I can. So I'll wait to get the fabric I want before sewing these rows together. I had this blue and cream fabric that goes with the panel, but I don't like either of them for the end caps or border. I'm thinking of marbled blue and purple fabric, or maybe some Stonehenge fabric. But that will require some shopping, and I don't have a quilt shop near me, so it's looking like I will have to have something shipped to me. And that's where I'm at with this One Block Wonder. With it being in the halted stage, I'm not quite sure which one I'll work on next. I still have my Mini Bowl Challenge quilt I need to finish quilting, but I would like another project to work on in the mornings. I may do the random number generator just to pick another UFO. Or maybe I'll just pick one of my quilt tops that are ready to go for quilting. What do you think? Should I do the random number generator or pick a quick finish? Let me know in the comments below. I always love to hear your thoughts. And thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy quilting.